This is not a test. This is rock and roll.
I wake up every morning in a bed that's too small, drive my daughter to a school that's too expensive, and then I go to work to a job for which I get paid too little.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
You're waking up with the Morning App on 90.5 WASU.
Over there, so that's really awesome. So she's in that California sun. Not like here.
How did she hide that? I never even heard of that.
Yeah, it's a scholarship. If you're somebody who's interested in radio and broadcasting, please hop over to WASU and apply again, because we need to keep that streak going.
I completely forgot. I didn't even know that was the thing, but not that I would have gotten it anyway. Katie's way more qualified than I would have been.
Yeah.
But okay, so I guess she's off the hook. We have Lexi in instead, which is probably a good thing because we are going to be talking about the new movie Us by Jordan Peele, which I'm sorry to bail on you yesterday, Dovy, because I really wanted to see that movie, and I really thought at 7 o'clock I'd be free to go with you, and then like 5 minutes later I found out that I had a video project that we had not even started. Lexi was a part of that video project, and
video projects.
It lasted until what, 10:30, 11?
Yeah, it was pretty long.
You can't underestimate those things. They can take a while.
I just was really bummed.
Time just like goes by. Like it's just, yeah.
Yeah. I really wanted to go. And then Dovy's like texting me. He's like, oh, I just got out of the movie. I was like, oh, I should have been in that movie.
Tear, sad.
Yeah. And then Lexi drops on me that she's already seen it. So,
yeah.
I mean, how was it?
On Sunday.
Dude, it was different. It was.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how to make this spoiler free, but like, so you have you seen Get Out?
I have.
Did you like Get Out?
Yeah.
It's a little different than Get Out was in a way. It was a little more on the horror side versus the thriller side of it, even though there's a little bit of a thriller thing going on in there.
It was very gory.
Very gory.
Very gory.
The acting in this movie was something like I've never seen
very
before.
Very good.
Yes. I can say that I liked this movie and that I've never seen anything really like it. But unlike Get Out, you know how Get Out made you ask a lot of questions as the movie went on, but then those questions started to like get answered. Those little fine details started to make a little bit more sense as the movie went on toward the end. Mm-hmm. This movie was a little bit less. It didn't do as well of a job explaining it. Like, you can find more plot holes, but its overall philosophy was really cool and really intense.
Yeah.
I liked it. My girlfriend was like a little upset at the end of it. She was a little underwhelmed because of the fact that like those little deets didn't make it through. Like, she had a lot of questions.
That was kind of my reaction too. I had a lot of questions because I think I liked Get Out better because it did wrap up better at the end. But Us was still really good. Like I enjoyed it, and it was like it was entertaining to watch, so I liked it.
Were there just things that didn't add up or didn't make sense when you mean like plot holes? Like, were there things that you were just like, oh, that's kind of like,
It made sense. It was just, there were things that you wish would have been explained a little bit better or like revisited or, taken care of, if that makes any sense.
What
It didn't ruin the movie. I think it just leaves you like going, oh my, what?
Yeah, and it's one of those movies where like the concept is kind of like it starts out like regular life, and then something happens, and you kind of just have to go with it, and you're like, oh, I guess this is how it is now, because it's a weird thing that happens, and you're like, oh, what? Like, where did this come from? But you just kind of have to roll with it for the rest of the plot, and it doesn't really explain what happened exactly. Like, it does, but like not really.
If you're somebody who likes to know what's going on every second of the movie, you're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, it was hard for me because that's what I like, and
You have to be somebody who can. You're right. You have to give yourself up to the movie and be like, I'm just
like,
rolling with it.
Real. This is the truth.
I know eventually this stuff is gonna get fixed or like retouched on, but some things aren't nearly as fleshed out, I think.
Now,
it's hard to explain without spoiling anything.
For people who don't know, Us isn't it about this family that goes on like a vacation at the beach, and then all of a sudden like their clones are there trying to take them out, right?
Take themselves.
Yeah. They call themselves shadows, I think, right?
Yeah, they call them like the shadows.
Spoilers, Lexi,
shadows.
Come on.
Well, that's not a spoiler. That's just how.
Boy, you have no idea.
I'm sure it gets crazy.
It gets really,
And the acting is so good. I just want to like go back to that because the actors basically play their regular character and then they play their shadow. So they have like a completely different demeanor and they play both really well, I think.
They were creepy.
It was very good. So it contrasts a lot, and that's I like.
It was really specifically from the lead role. I don't know what her name was, but she was awesome. I mean, she was the kind of she was the highlight of all of that. I think
she was very, very good.
Where have we seen that actress in something else?
She's in Black Panther.
Is he? Okay. I thought so. Was the husband? Correct.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. He was.
Okay.
Yeah. You're right.
That's what I thought.
It was really good.
Yes.
See, it's a family, and I know they're getting somewhat attacked by their shadows, and I hope it's a happy ending. I like it when everything works out. And no spoilers, but I'm gonna be upset if like someone dies, a kid dies, a wife dies. Like we saw. I can't say A Quiet Place. And, that's also about a family. And I just
that's such a sad.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God.
But that's
no spoilers,
why I was so happy though, because this is like it's really difficult to come up with a good like not really a sequel, but like a sophomore film for a director who had such an awesome first film. You know, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that.
Yeah, definitely.
And although it's not like, I still think most people that when they see this movie, they're gonna be like, I still like Get Out a little bit better.
That's my opinion.
But they're still gonna really enjoy this film if they did like Get Out.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is so great. I feel like we're almost in a renaissance of horror films again. Like
just because of him.
Because before they used to be so like. There's a reason why. We have the same stereotypical storyline that would happen.
Yep.
And we finally are in this almost new wave of scary movies where we haven't really seen anything before like this.
Yeah.
So.
And I think I like Get Out a lot because it was like kind of horror, but mostly thriller, but it had to do with like social commentary, and I think that was a really, really cool aspect of it, and I really like that, and that's what to me like separates Jordan Peele from like other directors.
Yeah, I didn't know if Us had any social commentary other than, I mean,
I was trying to think about it.
I think it did.
Yeah.
I think I know what it was pointing to, but again, I don't want to spoil it.
Fine.
But it's a very it's something you wouldn't expect.
We'll talk during the break. We'll talk during the break.
Yeah, we
I need
discuss.
those spoilers.
I don't want to spoil. It's been out for a good bit. I mean, it's been out since this weekend, but I still feel like people might not have seen it. So the week is a good time to go catch it. You know, no one's going to be in the theater. You'll be all by yourself.
For the best experience,
for the best scary movie experience right there.
I do like going to the theaters and being the only one there. I do enjoy. I don't know how many. Yeah, I like it a lot actually.
I've learned to like that.
How many people were there last night?
There's still a good bit. I mean, it wasn't full, but you know, there were maybe like 4 people per row.
Okay, that's not terrible, but
for
still
a
little
Tuesday
bit,
night.
Little bit too much.
Yeah.
Jordan Peele's also doing the Twilight Zone TV show.
Yeah.
So if these 2 movies have gone really well, doesn't that bode well for the TV show? Which I don't know what it's about because I never watched the Twilight Zone originally. I don't know what it is or. I'm guessing horror type again.
Yeah, it's more on the. Yeah, it's more like they're like all thought pieces, really. To just like, they're very experimental stories. You know.
Yeah, I think they're more sci-fi.
Sci-fi thriller.
It's like a Black Mirror, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it was.
it's like the early Black Mirror.
But it doesn't have to do with technology. I think Black Mirror, that's their whole
Specifically,
theme.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, Black Mirror is what people say is the new Twilight Zone.
Yes.
So it's going to be really cool to see that come back. And just know, after this movie, you can tell Jordan Peele is like, you know what his head goes through and like how he'll understand.
And it's scary.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Well, alrighty. Thank you for that spoiler-free review, you two. I'll have to go see it. Hopefully no video project will get in the way next time, but Us is in theaters right now. Another Word Endgame is officially 1 month away, so everyone get ready for that. But we're done with the movie talk. On the other side of the break, we're going to be talking about things that make us feel old, which is everything right now. But here's Hosier on the Morning App.
And now back to your favorite morning talk show, The Morning App, on 90.5 WASU.
Back here on The Morning App, and interesting topic we're about to go into, because I think I'm pretty hip, Dovy. I'm with it. I know what the young kids are talking about.
What? Oh man.
What are I guess you guys brought up there are certain things that make us feel old. Like we just don't understand maybe what the youngsters are going through, watching, playing, talking about it on the playground, by the swing set.
So when I was watching Us, the dad in the movie, he's really funny, but the more and more I watched it, the more and more I was like, I was feeling relatable to the dad, and I had this moment where I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm relating to a dad right now in this movie. How old am I getting right now?
What's wrong with that?
It's just weird because like I feel like I've broken the threshold when you're like watching a movie and you're like, oh, that's the mom, that's the dad, and now I'm seeing like someone closer to my age as I'm getting older. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
that makes sense.
He's like 30 something in the movie, but still like it doesn't feel like that big of a jump anymore, and so I just started thinking about things that made me feel old because of all the stuff that he was saying, and I kind of just was wondering what made y'all feel old, like Toy Story 4 coming out.
That's insane. I didn't even know about that until like
I literally
3 days
told you,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah, you told me. You were the one that was
There's
like,
a fourth Toy Story coming out. What?
It looks very emotional.
oh my god.
It looks confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how good it's going to be, but you're right. I mean,
It looks like a
when
Black Mirror
was the
episode.
first Toy Story? It was a long...
That was like 1990.
Dude,
I want
was
to
it
say
really?
1998 or
No
something.
way.
Dude.
Yeah, I want to
Yes.
because the second one was like
No.
2001.
Yo, this is 1995.
Yeah.
It was
This came
made?
out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Made
it
before
came
I was
out.
born?
Yes. The first one. The second one came out in like 2001. I'm
How in the
pretty sure.
world did I watch it then? I feel like I didn't watch anything
Well,
before my time.
It was huge, though. I mean, it's it's one of the biggest Pixar animations ever made.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I guess they're still going for it, huh?
They got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes to this day.
That
I
doesn't.
wonder who decided to like make a fourth one because I thought the third one was like a good wrap up to the whole thing. You know? What
Yeah,
I mean?
Probably
They-
Disney. I mean, they're like,
Might as well
Get
make
that
some more money
money.
out of this. So.
Yeah, but that makes me feel younger. That doesn't make me feel older, Dovy. I feel like younger, like I'm a kid again. Like, yeah, Toy Story 4, I get to
Okay.
see Woody and the gang.
That's true.
the Hannah Montana movie came out 10 years ago.
I don't even know
That's-
what that was.
That's. Oh my gosh.
I didn't watch it. I didn't
Hannah
watch any Hannah
Montana.
Montana.
Dude, did you watch Drake and Josh?
I did watch
All you
Drake
need to
and
do is
Josh.
Google when this stuff look at this. I'm going to look Drake and Josh debut, right?
I'm pretty sure
First
that was
episode.
like early.
That came out 2004. That was 15 years ago. Drake and Josh aired
Oh my.
15 years ago. I remember when I was like
Dude.
15 and I was like, I've only been alive for 15 years. Now it's
To be fair, as the years keep going, as we get to like 2017, 2018, 2019, I just continuously think that I'm stuck back in like 2012.
Yeah, I still feel like
no,
I'm-
that's a weird phenomenon. Like my friend mentioned, like he tells me that every time. It's like I still feel like it's 2012 because something crazy happened 2012. That was like,
Wait,
I
that
have no
movie
idea.
came out.
I mean, the movie
2012
came
movie that the world ended.
but I feel like
Did
a
it?
lot of stuff happened in 2012 that made it like so, just stuck in our brain.
I just feel like the years are staying the same. We're not really going forward, that we're not actually close to 2020 or anything. I don't know if that's like, I can't explain it. It's just I don't feel like we are moving forward, just stuck in this year that even though we have a new year each time, we're just in the same year.
Yeah, I feel that too. I think our generation feels that as like a whole. Everyone in college right now feels like they're in college, but they're not really in college because of that like feeling.
Or everything's like moving with us. So like what happened, if we were in 2012 and something happened in 2005, then whatever happened now in 2019 and happened also 7 years ago. Like it's just moving along with us, if that makes sense.
But there's
Yeah.
such a big difference between those two decades. There's a documentary on Netflix about the 2000s, which, by the way, in 1 year, the year 2000 will be 20 years ago. That's another thing to think about. That makes me feel like you're an old man.
You're older than us, Dovy.
Yeah.
By, what, 2 years?
I'm 24.
Yeah.
So
you are a dad.
I know. Like once my friends are like, "Hey, you want to go out? Go to Boone Saloon?" And I'm like looking at my bath bombs and I'm like debating, you know? And I have like a charcoal face mask. I'm like, dude, oh my gosh, what's happening to me? Who am I?
You're like, yeah, I think I'm gonna stay in. Watch the game. Watch the game. Yeah. And then bath bombs. Charcoal mask. Thank God.
Put on like some spa music. Dude, I don't know. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what else. Facebook came out in 2004. You know.
But see, I just joined Facebook 2 years ago, so I don't. And I still don't know how to use it.
Here's a way. Let me see when the iPhone came out.
I think I've just been perpetually old.
The first iPhone came out in like, well, the first iPhone was like a long time ago.
That was like 2006.
Maybe I still feel
2007.
Was it 2007? I thought.
Yeah, I remember I was in middle school when this thing happened, and everybody was talking about it like it was a huge deal.
Maybe I still feel young because it's taken me a long time to continuously get new iPhones. Because for the longest time, sophomore year, I still had the iPhone 4.
Yeah.
So I still had the itty-bitty iPhone 4, and everyone else is going on to like the 6s and the 8s and the 10s. And now I've been with the iPhone 6 for a long time, and everyone else is going to the X. So maybe that's why. Maybe I'm just stuck a couple years behind because I have the older iPhones.
No.
I think that's it.
Well, dude, just think about it. Like, it's hard to kind of wrap your head around it because all of our technology has been invisible, in a way. You know, like we don't see a lot of physical changes. Like we went from collecting music with CDs.
I still do that.
But nobody does that anymore. Like everything's streamed. Even video games are about to be streamed. Google figured out a way to play, you know. What do people call them? Like the high tier, like God of War, Doom, like these really basically like PS4 games, Xbox games through the Google Chrome browser at this point. Like they figured out how to do that. Like everything's being streamed. Everything's kind of in the cloud.
But even if technology is changing, I still play video games, and I feel like that's not going to change. I was thinking about the other day, as a father with my kids, I hope I can play their video games with them. Like that's something I would like. I know my dad couldn't really play video games. He just didn't know what to do or how. Like he sucked.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I would hope that I can at least stick with it and be able to play with them. One, I'd feel young. Two, I'd be able to relate with them and maybe learn something about the lingo again, or I don't know.
I remember when around 2014, 2015, the GameCube was considered.
I love the GameCube.
It was considered retro at that time, like a retro gaming console.
Yeah.
When did the Game Boy come out? That was my first.
The first Game Boy, with the Game Boy Color or just the Game Boy?
I'm talking about the flat. Okay, I didn't have the rectangular one. I had like the sideways one originally. It came out 1989 was like the first rectangular one.
Yeah.
But I had the one after that. That's a long time.
Pokemon Red and Blue released like 1997. You know.
I don't know that either.
About that. I mean, I just remember all the movies that came out that were like this movie 2000, whatever it was. You know, when the new millennia came up. I don't know. It's just there's a lot of stuff that like time is just now at this point going like.
I've never been hip. I've never been cool. I don't know any of.
I don't know. So he's not
I don't know the
about
Pokemons. I don't know Hannah Montana. What is TikTok? Before we go to break,
TikTok is okay. I don't know what it is. That's the whole thing.
Okay.
You remember like Musical.ly?
Music. That's YouTube. YouTube has music.
Nope, that's
Apple
not what
Music.
I mean.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Musical.ly
Dad.
is it's like okay, you know those videos that you've probably seen on Twitter of like music is playing, but then like someone makes a video to go along with the music. Like they're either lip syncing or they're like doing something funny or.
That's literally the definition of music videos, is it not?
But it's not a music. It's a type of music video, I guess. But it's like anyone can make one from one song.
And they just do random things.
Yeah. So like, TikTok is basically the evolved version of Musical.ly. except it's like a little bit different because it's more comedic than Musical.ly was.
I don't even know what Musical.ly was. I never even heard of that.
Well, you know what? That's what I'm saying, Josh.
That's why you feel old.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not old. I'm not.
And you know what? That's like the #1 app right now in the App Store.
TikTok.
Is TikTok.
All I think of is that Kesha song, TikTok, is #1 on the App Store.
And you know what? If we told people that, they'd be like, who's Kesha?
And that came out in 2008, which was 10 years ago, I think.
11.
Pretty sure. 11. Oh my God. Wait.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, Keisha's coming to App, so we'll get to hear TikTok. Yeah, that's right. I'm calling her Keisha.
What?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was Kasha because she had a $sign on the.
Kasha? Oh, that makes way more sense.
Oh, that would be
And, you know, that's how I think any party girl would be like, it's Kasha.
I don't care. I'm hip and
pronounce
now.
it like that.
I am hip and now. We all are. We got Lav here on the morning app.
And now back to your favorite morning talk show, The Morning App on 90.5 WASU.
Today I learned it's National Manatee Appreciation Day.
Yes.
So that's pretty big. Top that, Dovy.
Look,
You can't.
I can't.
But it's National Little Red Wagon Day.
It is.
So that's definitely, well, I feel like it's equal.
So get your manatees and put them in a red wagon.
I don't understand why we have so many national days on one. Like, it's,
Who decides these things?
I don't know.
That's what I've
The
always
National
thought.
Day Calendar
What?
website.
The Council of National Days. It's
Is
like,
it Hallmark? Because they make all the calendars. So, like,
I just know if you Google National whatever day, the National Day calendar comes up, but there's like 4 or 5 in one day. That doesn't make any sense.
right, it takes away the importance.
special-
But you only get
yeah.
365 days, so it's like,
you have to load them up.
yeah, you gotta load each one of them
Random
up, you
things
know?
like red wagons are being celebrated on a
That's-
day.
that's-
You
I didn't
have
know
to
there was-
cover everything.
That's dumb.
I didn't know there
what
was
about the blue wagons, the orange wagons?
Right?
They need a day.
No, the manatee deserves its own special day.
Yeah. Shout out to all the manatees. Well, that was cool, though. That's cool to learn.
Yeah.
If you have a manatee, if you got a,
If you got a pet manatee,
you have
like,
a manatee,
celebrate
yeah.
him today.
you know, make sure you show some appreciation, some respect to all the manatees out
If you have a manatee, please return him to the zoo that you found him in. Like, you should not be having
Boone
him
is
right
not really the best place to have a manatee.
Probably the worst place.
So show some appreciation and take it back home and, you know. All right. Well, we'll go ahead on to this Today I Learned segment. So if you don't know what Today I Learned is, it's just a subreddit where people post interesting things that they find online and share it with everyone. And I just pick out my top 3 to 5 and tell you guys about them. And let's, without further ado, yeah.
Real quickly, I know in talking with a couple of the older gentlemen around, they don't know what a subreddit is. I was talking to a reporter for, I think, the Winston-Salem Journal, and a video was found on subreddit that he was going to write about, and he asked me, he's like, do I need to define what a subreddit is for all of the people? And I'm like, you probably do, because that's
might as
something that
well.
would make them feel old,
Yeah.
is a subreddit.
Yeah. And, dude, I mean, that's where I get my news sometimes, is just on Reddit. If you go to the top front page, you'll just find everything you need to know about the world in like one page, basically.
How do you know it's accurate?
All the weird, because they always put a link and a source to the information.
Well, that's good.
So, but yeah, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So today I learned that the average person will spend 4 months of their life just waiting for red lights to change to green.
Oh, gosh.
4 months.
That's so long.
Mine's doubled because I hit every single red light.
That's what I'm
ever.
saying.
I don't get green lights.
You're the
I hit
outlier.
Every single one on River Street, I hit every single morning. And every time I
It's
drive.
actually just, maybe 1 month for everybody, but because Josh is going to probably spend like a year of his life hitting red lights, and
it brings up the national average. Yeah.
Exactly. Maths. But that's
Okay.
kind of sad.
You know how, like, every small town has, like, that one light that takes forever? What's that in Boone?
Oh, dude, the Chipotle light. Mm-mm. Yeah, dude, you know what I'm talking about? The one where, like, if you're going down 321 and you want to take a left into where...
It's always a left.
Dude,
It's always a left.
The one where it's like Walmart's to the right and Chipotle's to the left, that light, I don't know if it's because I really want Chipotle or if, I think this light takes like 20 minutes sometimes. Like, it's so long.
See, I got a couple. One was fixed. The one at Lowe's, turning left into a Lowe's, that's terrible. That left light into Lowe's is bad. There was one that actually got fixed. Do you know Zeb, the road right by Walmart? Mm-mm. It's like if you're headed to Meadowview, there's a light at an intersection where you turn right and you have the Meadowview condominiums, and then you go up the hill up to Meadowview. That light right there, that intersection, never would turn green for the straightaway one. I can't explain it, but that one, literally in the middle of the night, no cars coming, you park at that light, you have to run it. You have to run the red light because you'll be stuck there for hours. I'm not even joking.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not admitting to running it, but I'm just saying you literally have to because it never turns green. ever. They did fix it, I think, because of said issue that people may have had to run it.
You weren't like hitting there's like a sensor for every light.
Like we in the middle
would like
of the
go
night,
back and forth and
yes,
see,
in the middle of the night,
and
there's
it
no one
would
here.
never-
We're going back and forth at that light to get it to change because it never would. 20 minutes, 30, like I'm not even joking, it never changes.
Well, that's horrible.
The day they fixed it, which I think they actually have, greatest day ever. I still don't trust it. I still don't trust it. I only take Zeb to avoid the light now. But sorry, tangent, because that was so frustrating. I feel old ranting about a stoplight, but
Well, you know,
had to be done.
4 months of your life isn't too bad. I mean, it's a lot.
That's a long
It's a
time.
long time.
That's a long time.
But it's not the, you
like
know.
straight 4 months.
But we spend a third of our life just sleeping. So
I think that's great.
I wish
That
I
is
had
kinda
thirds in my life, yeah.
it's better than being in the light. All right. Well, the next one. You guys, have y'all heard of this song? It's called Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know if you heard of it.
Maybe.
What's that?
It's
It's a movie.
by yeah, it is. It's from the movie actually. Anyways,
It's on the soundtrack. That's the only.
Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. Today I learned that Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody has now hit the Billboard Hot 100 in 3 separate decades.
Wow.
Is there any other song that's done that? I feel like there is another song that's done that, but I don't
know. I know that Mr. Brightside has been in the top 100 since it's
killer.
come out. Yeah.
That was a good joke.
Thanks,
That was a
okay.
good one.
All right, I was like, did I get the artist correct there? I'm like, they're kind of looking at me. Okay.
Let's see. I know. So, have you ever seen Saving Private Ryan? I've never seen it.
I haven't either.
No, I've never seen it.
We'll
Oh
skip
wow,
that
this is useless for us.
Should we never learn it, or should we? We know what it's about, right? Like
I mean,
World
I know
War
Tom
II
Hanks is
and-
in it.
Matt
and it's
Damon's
about
in it.
war. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they save Private Ryan. I think they lose him.
Some people
I really
might.
don't know.
Somebody might really like this movie. This will be interesting. Today I learned that all the main actors in the movie Saving Private Ryan, apart from Matt Damon, were required to undergo military training, and this was done so that the remaining cast would build up genuine resentment for his character.
Wow.
Oh, for Matt Damon's character?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to ask him, like, why is Matt...
I guess.
Matt Damon should be the exception.
does he play?
He's incredible.
Does he play Private Ryan or like?
I don't know.
I see. That's the thing. I've been needing to watch this movie, but I've never gotten to it.
I figured Matt Damon with all the action movies he does already, he doesn't need that extra
Yeah, Matt
military
Damon is
skill.
Private Ryan.
Yeah.
So.
Why are we resenting Private Ryan
That's
if
why
we're
we need to
saving
see
him?
this movie, Josh. We gotta
We
go.
don't watch it.
Dude,
So
I've
it
been
makes sense.
like, I feel like every year I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie. That's my New Year's resolution. I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be healthy. I need to watch Saving Private Ryan, and I never get to it.
That's me with The Breakfast Club, The Big Lebowski, all those.
Dude, I've never seen The Big Lebowski, so we got
neither.
Yeah, I've never seen that
we
one.
got a couple that we need to.
I believe they're making a sequel to it. I think. I believe. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But either way, I haven't seen them. Other side of the break, we have our relationship talk here on the morning app.
Morning App on 90.5 WASU and WASUradio.com.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
Okay, so today for our relationship segment, I'm taking over. We're going to be doing 5 truths about live-in relationships that no one tells you about. So interesting.
What do you mean live-in relationships? Like
When you move in together.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So do you have any guesses about some things?
So 5 truths about moving in together, basically.
Basically, yeah.
That nobody tells you about.
Or like what happens to your relationship once you move in together.
Okay.
Yeah.
You become a lot more casual or comfortable.
Maybe.
Like you're just more. Maybe you're not
you
trying.
spend so much time with each other.
Yeah, you're not trying as hard to maybe impress the other because now you're just lounging around all the time and you're just in the same
You're
spot.
just there.
Yeah.
I bet you both end up becoming incredibly comfortable with farting.
Yeah, that's good. I think
Once you have that space,
Yeah.
it's like,
I think that comes under the casual, right?
yeah, that's probably under that umbrella. Just a farting frenzy at that point.
Here's something that I thought about the other day. I think a lot of people would go to the bathroom more because it's like alone time for them. I thought about this the other day.
Are you serious?
I think
Maybe.
so. Because
I can
like
see that.
my dad always will go to the bathroom. I won't see him for hours. I'm like, I think he's just tired of us.
Dude.
I think you just need
Why is
your.
Dad bringing the TV and the Xbox?
I'm dead serious. He's just gone. And I think that's a big thing. I think you're just like looking for more alone time.
Breathing
'cause you don't get it.
Oh my gosh.
That's why he goes to work
There's
a lot
something
too.
really magical about the bathroom and being able to think about stuff, though. You know, like you have shower thoughts. So maybe it's the same thing. It's like
No, I'm against the bathroom.
toilet thoughts. You know, you can just sit down and just be like, oh, this is my detox time. I can just think.
I personally don't like it.
You don't even have to go. You just wanted to have that alone time.
That's what I think. I think you're looking for more alone time by any means necessary, whether it's going to work, going to the bathroom, or taking naps because you're just tired of everything. You just need to get away from it all.
Well, okay, this kind of leads into the first one. So basically, you'll change some of your like ways, your habits. And so I think that's because you're around that person so much that like you start to like those little habits start to bug each other, you know? And so you kind of have to change it not to annoy the other person or adapt so that you're not annoyed as much by the other person.
That's true love. Changing who you are not to annoy your significant other.
That could be as little as tiny of a thing as just remembering to put the seat down. You know,
It's stuff like that. The little things.
Again,
that's
though,
a hard thing to like, even for me to just remember to do. You know,
Again, though,
when you live in an apartment with boys.
have women ever put the seat up for us, Dovy? Fight for equality, right there.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I feel like it would be a nice gesture if we both just like, you know,
just
because you remember when you put it down, and so if it's up and you're like, oh, that's so sweet. Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Okay, so the second one is your families will start to get involved more. So, like, if you move in together, it becomes, like, that's, like, a big step. So it becomes really serious. And so inevitably, your families will, like, start to kind of bug you about, you know, oh, my gosh, where's this going? Like, is this, like, going to turn into marriage? Like, what's going on? Like, I think the average parents will be like, this is a huge step, you know, and they'll want to, like, know what's going to happen.
You might get more calls.
Yeah.
You know, just checking up. How's it going? How's it been since you've moved in together?
It's like, oh, you guys gonna get married? No, Mom, we're just moving in for funsies. we just want that, you know.
No, Mom, we're in debt.
We have a joint bank account just for fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't plan on marriage at the end of it.
We've been dating for a week, Mom. Come on.
That's something. Ugh.
God, I hope you're not moving in after a week.
That's a big step.
Okay, so the third one is basically that intimacy will decrease over time because it says since you have like you're around that person all the time, then you do start to like get annoyed with each other, so you're not like wanting to be all over each other anymore. You're like you need your space, and so that'll happen.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
you're both busy. You come home from work and you're just like, oh, I'm not feeling it. I'm
Get off
tired.
me.
Yeah.
Get away from me.
Your family called you too much. It's just like,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's something you don't want to happen, and
But,
hope
yeah.
it doesn't. You got to
It
work
doesn't
on
have
that.
to. If you're both aware of it, you know,
it doesn't,
You
you're
can
right.
work around it.
Yeah. All right, so the fourth one is basically that breaking up will be a much longer and harder process. So since you've like lived together, you have created this like deeper bond, and so it's like they're like starting to become your person, you know, that you like see all the time and you talk to about all your stuff. So if you break up, then it's going to be a really, really difficult breakup because it's going to be really rough.
If you break up while you're moved in together, you're not gonna have at least half the stuff you started with.
Oh, yeah.
Most of it's gonna be tossed out the
yeah.
window, burned at the stake. You may be burned at the stake.
That's why you got to know, you know, especially if you're somewhere like here and you have to get you sign a lease for like 1 year. Like, you know, these leases usually aren't very flexible. Like, you know, imagine that. Like having to like break up, but then you also still have to keep paying for the apartment and stuff, or you have to still live in the apartment.
The memories, especially if you're the one that gets broken up with.
The memories. Oh, I thought you had that experience.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
The memories. The memories of.
Right
being
before we
in a
go
high
to
school
break,
relationship.
the last
Yeah.
one is that you will find joy in things that you least expect. So like the small things, like watching TV together before bed and like just enjoying the little things like in each other's company. You'll find a lot of joy in that.
Yeah, because when we're
Which I
watching
think is cute.
when we're watching TV together, we're not talking to each other. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We got Total Eclipse of the Heart here on the morning app.
And now back to the morning app on 90.5 WASU.
Wrapping up the show, Katie is currently in the Charlotte airport, and she can confirm that that red light stoplight that I was talking about is the worst. It's still not great, but it is
Where
better.
is it again? So I can avoid it?
You know the back road to Walmart? Like, not, you don't take the main drag.
Yeah.
That stoplight right before those apartments and right before you go up the hill on a long curve, there's a Meadowview condominiums to your right, and up the hill is Meadowview because the curve literally leads. Do you know the one back road leading to Meadowview?
Yes.
That road.
Okay.
Like, if you turn right at the stoplight to get onto that road, that light the other way doesn't.
Yeah, I just don't go in that direction very much, but
it's terrible. But I'm so glad Katie understands because you all were looking at me like, oh wow, yeah, sure.
It's got to be the Chipotle.
Lowe's too, but
yeah, the Lowe's too.
Either way, the show that App TV produces, Up Late App State. Yeah. Sorry, I thought it was like Up Late App TV, but it's Up Late App State, and they are having a live show tonight at 8 p.m.
That's exciting.
And they would like a studio audience. So if you're interested, Beasley Media Complex right here across from the SRC by Walker.
Next to Portofino's, Cafe Portofino's is this building.
Inquire about it. It's going to be on the 3rd floor for sure. So live show for Up Late.
Have a little
App State.
SNL experience
I'm getting so
at
many,
App State.
I'm getting so many texts telling me how that stoplight is literally the worst right now. So I'm not wrong. We also will not be having a show on Friday. I won't be here, and instead of making Dovy wake up and do a solo show, we'll let him sleep.
We can all sleep. We can all take a day, and we'll return on Monday.
Yeah.
Fresh and full of all new stories. We'll be really excited to hear Katie's experience and how California went for her over there.
Yeah.
So
no show on Friday. Up Late App State is having a live show here in Beasley at 8 p.m. If you want to be part of that live audience, come by Beasley Media Complex. But otherwise, we'll see you Monday.